Clock starts. 0-10. Target trucks bunch up near bunker doors. Radios go silent. The window opens. 0-20. A pilot breathes once. Weapons arm. Guidance locks. 0-30. First hit stops the lead tank. Second hit seals the road. 0-40. Fire spreads. Command cars vanish. The convoy breaks. 0-50. One truth stands. Stealth found them, then ended the run. F-35. Stay with me. Wanna like this video? Subscribe. Press the bell. Watch to the end for the full breakdown. Who moved, why they moved, what struck them, and the exact tech that made no escape real. The stage is the Red Sea and the land that crowns it. A narrow gate called Bab el-Mandeb links two seas. Most global trade to the Suez runs through this gate. Oil, food, container ships. The numbers are large even in quiet weeks. That pressure shapes every move. On shore sit hills with caves and tunnels, dirt roads, wadis that hide dust and heat. Armed groups use them well. They know the ground. They watch the sea lanes. They move at night. They test the air. They count response time. In this case, open sources flag a special convoy. Claims say armor, fuelers, recovery trucks, and command vans. Some claim a high-value leader. Some say the value of the column nears $1 billion when you add hulls, spares, electronics, and rare parts. These claims are not confirmed, but the traffic pattern looks real. The tempo looks urgent. The routes bend toward a bunker cluster near old quarries. The bunker mouths offer hard cover. They also offer traps. A column can vanish inside. A column can also be fixed at the door. Both truths hold. The timeline begins 2 days out. T-48 hours. Satellite cues mark unusual loading at a depot. Crates move. Fuel bowsers line up. Heat signatures show long engine runs. T-36 hours. Radio nets go quiet, then pop back on new bands. That suggests a fresh plan or outside help. T-24 hours. Scouts probe the road network. They stop at culverts and bridges. They check weight limits. T-12 hours. The column forms. It does not use one road. It uses several. It does not cluster tight. It moves in packets. That is smart. It lowers risk from one big strike. It also slows the flow and stretches the escort. By now, an Allied maritime force is on watch. A carrier strike group sits in reach. A carrier is a floating air base. It launches fighters, jammers, and eyes in the sky. An E-2D controls the air picture. That is a radar plane with a dish and a crew that manages the fight. P-8A patrols scan sea and coast. Those are long-range jets that hunt subs and also gather signals. Drones add time on station. RC-135 type aircraft listen for emitters. All of this feeds a fused map. The map is not art, it is math. Tracks link to behavior. Behavior links to identity. Convoy composition matters. Tanks and IFVs point to a push. Fuelers and wreckers point to a long push. A command van points to leadership. When you see all three, you flag it. Rules of engagement sit on top. ROE are the legal and moral guardrails. They ask hard questions. Is the target military? Is the target away from civilians? Can you strike with minimum force to gain the goal? Can you do it with a pattern that lowers surprise to non-combatants? Weather matters too. Clouds can block lasers. Wind can push smoke and confuse heat seekers. Terrain creates radar shadows. The plan answers each variable. It defines the goal. Delay, degrade, deny. Delay the column before it seals itself inside the bunker grid. Degrade the engines, tracks, fuel, and radios that make armor move and talk. Deny escape routes by closing entrances and pinching roads. The plan sets tripwires for proof. You need more than a rumor of a leader. You need a convoy picture that matches known habits. You need comms that fit a known pattern. You need road control points that match past moves. You need the right mix of vehicles in the right order. Lead armor, security, command, fuel, recovery, tail security. When those stack, you lock the case. Mission design then picks the right tool. The F-35 makes sense here. It is stealthy. It carries sensors that see in many bands. It can listen without shouting. It fuses data into one picture. It shares that picture with the team. It can carry small, smart weapons with long reach. Small means less blast and tighter aim. Long reach means safer lanes and more angles. A Growler can blind radars if needed. A Hawkeye can manage the air. Tankers can feed gas. The deck cycle sets launch and recovery windows. Timing is a weapon. The plan also assumes the enemy is not blind. They may have man pads near roads. Those are shoulder-fired missiles that chase heat. They may have radar guns near the bunkers. They may have decoy tanks with heat traps. They may scatter fake convoys to split attention. All of this must be weighed. The team shapes a route that hugs terrain and avoids known emitters. Emissions are controlled. Radios stay quiet unless needed. Sensors do more with less. If the column dives into the bunkers, the mission shifts to denial shots on entrances. If the column stays outside, the mission shifts to mobility kills and command cuts. The aim is not drama. The aim is effect. A column that cannot move is a column that cannot fight. A leader cut off from radios is a leader with no column. In this setup, every part of the kill chain has a job. Find, fix, track, target, engage, assess. Each step needs proof, not hype. Each step follows law and logic. Each step serves the larger goal. Keep the sea lanes open, reduce risk to ships and crews, and prevent a larger clash. T-90 minutes. The column starts to break cover from the quarry road. Small packets move first. Scouts creep along the wadi floor. They stop at bends. They scan the ridge lines. Radios whisper once, then go dark. A rear packet stalls. A wrecker pushes it forward. Heat signatures rise and hold. That is key. True moves create steady heat. Fake decoys pulse and fade. The air team watches. A controller builds a simple picture. Blue for friendly, red for threat, white for unknown. It is not art. It is a timeline. T-75. The F-35 pair crosses the coast at medium height. They fly quiet. No radar emissions. Sensors look and listen. One jet carries more fuel and sensors. The other carries more weapons. The jets share data without talking on open radios. A Hawkeye far away keeps the air map clean. Tankers wait on a track. A Growler sits cold but ready. No jamming yet. If you jam too early, you warn the enemy. The strike lead confirms the rule set again. Valid military convoy. Away from houses, near hardened sites, clear of non-combat traffic, minimum force to get the effect, T-60, the pattern of life match locks, lead armor, flank security, a command vehicle riding center, 2 fuelers tucked behind the command node, a recovery truck near the tail. It looks like the book, not proof of a named leader, but proof of a high-value action. The team treats it as a mission target based on conduct, not rumor. The convoy pace is slow, less than 25 miles per hour on broken gravel. That helps the strike. Moving targets are hardest at high speed. The F-35 lead marks 2 choke points. One is a narrow cut in the wadi wall. The other is the final turn into the bunker mouth. If you stop the front and the back, you trap the center. That is called a block and box. T-48. Weather shifts. Thin cloud blows in from the water. That can cut laser use. The weapons officer chooses a mixed load. Some bombs can home with millimeter wave radar. Some can use infrared. Some can take a laser mark if gaps open. The goal is simple. First shots are mobility kills, brake tracks, bend road wheels, smash front axles. Second shots are command cuts. Remove the radios and the nerve center. Third shots are fuel denial. Take out the tankers and the pumps. If the bunker doors become a problem, use a pair of hard shots to collapse the entrance. That is denial, not deep penetration. T-40. The lead jet slides slightly left to mask behind terrain. The wingman floats slightly high to get a better look. They still hold emissions. They still hide in noise. The convoy security vehicles stop often. They point weapons at likely ambush spots. They do not expect a steep top attack. They expect RPGs and small arms from close range. The strike timeline compresses. You cannot wait forever. If the column reaches the tunnel, options shrink. T-30. A fresh signal appears. A brief, disciplined burst near the command node. Short. Encrypted. It tags a probable commander or signal relay. The lead assigns it as a number 2 priority. The number 1 is still the front of the convoy. If you stop the head, everything behind it bunches up. T-20. The strike lead calls, weapons free within ROE constraints on the secure net. That means the plan is live, but the rules still bind every trigger. The jets push to release range while staying outside shoulder-fired missile rings. Man pads are dangerous inside a few miles and lower altitudes. Standoff helps. Altitude and geometry help more. No flares yet. Flares can warn. T-12. First pair of bombs come off the rails. They drop clean. They talk to home quietly. Their seekers scan for vehicle shapes and motion. They do not need a direct laser. They know what moving armor looks like on radar and infrared. The lead calls head vehicle. The wing calls tail block. The idea is to stop both ends within seconds. T-10. The command node shifts lanes. It tries to tuck behind a berm. A second salvo leaves the wing jet. This pair aims at the command and the primary fueler. The team wants to cut talk and cut gas. Without gas, armor becomes steel boxes. Without command, steel boxes become lost steel boxes. T-08. Security vehicles open fire at phantoms on the ridge. They saw something. Maybe dust, maybe heat shimmer. It does not matter. Their focus is up, not overhead. T-06. The first bomb hits near the head tank. Mobility kill, track off. The vehicle slews sideways. It blocks most of the road. The second bomb craters the tail block. The convoy halts under instinct. That is human. When the head and tail stop, everyone stops. T-04. The command vehicle surges forward to find space. The third bomb hits close. The blast disables antennas and the power system. No giant fireball, just a dead node. Radios die. Nets go quiet. T-03. The fueler takes a near hit and then a secondary burn starts. Pumps and hoses burn hot. Heat spikes on sensors, but the fire is local. No wide blast. That is by design. Smaller warheads, tighter effects. T-02. The bunker mouth sees movement. A gate tries to open. 2 trucks try to dash inside. The lead had planned for this. A fourth pair of bombs arcs toward the entrance lip. The goal is to drop debris and soil. The doors jam. The mouth chokes. Technical details decide wins and losses. With the jet, the F-35 is a stealth fighter. It hides well on radar. Its shape and coating lower its radar cross-section. That means enemy radars see a small dot or nothing at all. It flies fast enough, about Mach 1.6, but speed is not the key. The key is sensors and brains. Inside the nose sits the AN/APG-81 AESA radar. AESA means many small radar modules steer the beam fast. It can map ground, spot vehicles, and track targets while staying hard to detect. Under the nose is EOTIS, the electro-optical targeting system. It uses infrared and a laser. It sees heat, day, or night. Around the airframe are cameras that form the EODAS, a 360-degree eye. EODAS sees launches, tracks missiles, and marks hotspots without the pilot pointing the jet. The jet also listens. It can detect radio and radar signals passively. The mission computer fuses all of this. Fusion means it takes radar, infrared, and signals and makes one picture. It shows friend, foe, and unknowns as clear icons. It removes duplicates. It fills gaps. It predicts motion based on last known speed and heading. A pilot does not flip between screens. He sees a single truth source. Data links tie jets and teammates into one brain. Link 16 is the common net for many aircraft and ships. Weapons matter as much as sensors. For moving armor, the small-diameter Bomb 2, also called GBU-53B, is a top choice. It weighs about 200 pounds. It has a tri-mode seeker. millimeter wave radar, imaging infrared, and a semi-active laser. Millimeter wave sees shape and motion in dust and smoke. Infrared sees heat. Laser locks on a spot if a designator is used. The bomb can switch modes mid-flight. It rides GPS-INS toward a basket, then hunts the specific vehicle. Range can reach dozens of miles from high launch. The warhead is designed to defeat vehicles with focused energy and fragments, not to bulldoze a city block. That reduces collateral risk. For fixed points like a bunker mouth, a JDAM variant fits. JDAM adds a GPS kit to a dumb bomb. Accuracy is within meters when GPS is good. Fuses can be set to airburst, point detonate, or delay. Delay helps bite into soil or thin rock at an entrance lip. The goal is not to collapse a deep complex. The goal is to block doors, jam hinges, and drop debris. Target development follows a strict chain called F2T2EA, find, fix, track, target, engage, assess. Find means detect a pattern like fuelers lining up. Fix means confirm location with enough precision to hit. Track means hold that target over time, even if it moves or hides. Target applies ROE and weaponeering. ROE asks, is this lawful? Is this necessary? Can you use the least force for the needed effect? Weaponeering asks, which weapon, angle, fuse, and time give the effect with the least risk? Engage is the release. Assess checks if the effect happened. Battle damage assessment uses thermal decay, secondary fires, signal silence, and post-strike images. If the head and tail vehicles stop, if radios go dark, and if fuelers burn out, the convoy is mission killed. Threats shape every move. Man-pads, shoulder-fired heat-seekers, can reach a few miles in range and a few thousand feet in height. The best defense is geometry. Stay above their best shot windows or outside their range. Stealth helps against radar-guided guns and missiles. Terrain masking keeps lines of sight short. Emission control keeps the jet from shouting with its own radar unless needed. Decoys try to fool sensors. Fake tanks throw heat, but their heat pattern is wrong. They cool too fast. They lack engine rhythm. Fusion compares motion, heat, and radar shape to filter fakes. Adversaries also shift radios and use short bursts. Signal geolocation uses time difference and angle of arrival math to pin down emitters even when they whisper. Navigation is simple but vital. GPS gives position. INS holds position if GPS is jammed. The jet cross-checks with terrain maps and radar fixes when safe. If GPS is denied, JDAM can still hit with INS but with slightly less accuracy. That changes aim points. Instead of a small vent, you pick a larger door frame. Weather is a silent player. Thin cloud can block lasers but not radar seekers. Wind aloft pushes weapons. The mission computer solves for drift. Heat and dust create clutter. Imaging infrared counters with pattern learning and contrast locks. Finally, carrier integration ties it all together. The strike lead builds a time-on-target window. He backplans takeoff, tanking, push points, and egress lanes. The E-2D deconflicts, tracks, and watches for pop-up threats. The Growler stands by to blind a radar if it wakes up. The F-35 stay quiet, share a fuse, and choose angles that keep them safe. Precision weapons do the rest. Small blasts, big effects, mobility kills at the head and tail, command cut in the middle, entrance denial at the bunker. The result is not a show. It is a system working as designed, sensors find, links share, brains fuse, and the right warhead touches the right spot at the right time. The outcome is clear and measured. The convoy is mission killed. The head tank is stuck with a broken track. The tail block is cratered. The road is sealed at 2 points. The command vehicle is disabled. Its antennas are down. The power system is dead. Fuel trucks are burning at low intensity and then go out as pumps fail. Engines cool at different rates. That shows at least several mobility kills. Heat data over 30 minutes confirms no large group movement. Short, confused radio bursts fade. No stable command voice returns. A bunker door is jammed with soil and debris. Ground teams try to pry it open, but stop. The column cannot roll into cover. It cannot push out either. That is the tactical effect. Movement denied, command cut, fuel denied, and bunker access blocked. In simple terms, the fight ended before it could start. The strike uses a small number of precision weapons to get outsized results. Blast is controlled. There is no chain of big secondary explosions. The rule set holds. No targets outside the ROE are engaged. No follow-on shots are taken once the mission effect is achieved. Strategic effects follow. For the next 24 to 72 hours, the enemy loses armored breakout capacity along that route. The local commander cannot mass tanks or IFVs near the choke point. That lowers risk to shipping and patrol craft in the vital sea lane. It signals reach and timing. It shows that a stealth platform can find moving armor near hard cover and still strike with control. It undercuts the idea that bunkers near roads guarantee safety. It also forces a rethink of convoy doctrine. Large packets on predictable roads are now more risky. The likely shift is to smaller packets, more routes, more pauses, and deeper night moves. That slows logistics. Slow logistics reduce firepower at the front. The net effect is delay and friction, not just damage. Post-strike dynamics are predictable. The adversary will add decoys. They will heat fake tanks. They will use dummy fuelers. They will talk less on radios and use runners and short-burst signals. They will try to dig deeper tunnel mouths and add blast walls. They will map standoff lanes and set more man-pads along likely approaches. In response, the coalition will push more persistent ISR. Drones will hold longer watches. Analysts will track patterns of life for weeks, not hours. They will score convoys by vehicle order and timing, not just pictures. They will refine aim points based on thermal decay maps and wheelbase catalogs. The defense will try to hide in noise. The offense will compare many data types to find truth. Caveats matter. Claims about a named leader remain unconfirmed. Early numbers on destroyed vehicles are estimates, not final counts. BDA from the air is strong on movement and heat, weaker on identities. Independent review may adjust figures up or down. Weather and terrain may have masked some effects. What does not change is the mission outcome. Movement is denied at the place and time that mattered. Command is cut in the window that decided the fight. The choke point stays safer for now. The lesson is simple. Small, smart weapons, guided by fused data, can stop a much larger force with tight control and limited blast. The convoy chose speed and cover. The strike chose timing and precision. Timing and precision won. War is about choices. Some are loud, some are quiet. This strike was the quiet kind. Data won the day. Not speed, not size. A jet stayed unseen. It listened more than it spoke. It picked time and place. It hit small and exact. The convoy lost motion. That ended the fight. There is a lesson here. Superweapons are not magic. They are tools. What matters is the chain. Find, fix, track, target, engage, assess. Miss one link and you lose the effect. Keep all links strong and you win without waste. The F-35 helps, but fusion is the core. Make one true picture. Share it fast. Act at the right second. Precision changes the map. Smaller blasts can have bigger results. A broken track can beat a large fireball. A jammed door can beat a deep crater. A dead radio can beat a long barrage. The point is to remove the thing that gives power: movement, command, fuel, or access. Take those away and the rest falls apart. Ethics matter. The strike stayed inside the rules. It aimed at military gear. It held fire when the goal was met. It used the least force to get the result. That is how you limit harm. That is how you keep trust with your own crews and with the world that watches. In complex wars, that trust is as real a tool as any bomb. The other side adapts. They will split convoys. They will drive slower and hide more. They will build deeper mouths and throw more decoys. They will hunt the gaps in sensors. That is normal. The answer is to adapt faster. Keep watch longer. Compare more data types. Learn the patterns that tricks cannot copy. How engines heat, how wheels bounce, how radios breathe. This is the cycle now. Sensors feed minds. Minds guide small weapons. Small weapons make big shifts. It is not clean, it is not easy, but it can be controlled. That is the aim. Control risk, control blast, control time. If you want more breakdowns like this, plain talk, hard facts, no hype, stay with this channel.